There exists one trait more terrifying than cruelty, more dangerous than genius, and more powerful than wealth: fearlessness. Not the reckless kind worn like armor by loud fools or brash warriors, but the cold, quiet kind. The kind born from ruin, the kind possessed by those who have burned every bridge, silenced every hesitation, and buried their conscience in the pursuit of power. This is the fearlessness. Machiavelli admired the kind that keeps kings awake at night, that turns servants into shadow rulers. It isn't bravery, it's numbness. You stop fearing failure. You stop fearing betrayal, loss, or even death. You become untouchable, not because you're protected, but because there's nothing left to take from you. Most people are ruled by fear. Fear of being disliked, replaced, exposed. But the truly powerful feel nothing. They don't hesitate. They don't negotiate. They calculate when they strike. They strike with precision. And when fear dies, something darker takes its place: absolute control. In this video, we uncover why fearlessness is the deadliest weapon in the Machiavellian arsenal, and how those who master it don't just win, they dominate. Most people don't live, they survive, one fearful decision at a time. Fear is the invisible chain that binds the masses. It's why men follow weak leaders, why soldiers hesitate in battle, why you stay silent when you should speak, obey when you should rebel, and crawl when you should strike. Fear isn't a feeling. It's a system, a hierarchy. And if you don't master it, you will live and die as a pawn. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. He didn't romanticize fear. He studied it, dissected it. He knew fear was the lever by which rulers control their subjects, and the weapon by which weak minds surrender their power. Look around the modern world. It runs on fear. Fear of being canceled. Fear of being poor. Fear of rejection. Fear of standing alone. You don't make decisions, your fear does. You don't chase your goals, you bargain with your insecurity. Every move you make is an escape from discomfort. And here lies the secret. The first step to becoming powerful isn't gaining confidence, it's killing fear. Murder it. Erase it. Burn it out of your system. Because as long as fear lives, power cannot. You cannot be feared until you feel nothing. You don't conquer fear by avoiding it. You conquer it by strangling it until it stops breathing. The fearless man doesn't beg for loyalty. He doesn't beg for company. He doesn't chase love, validation, or support. He commands respect, not through words, but through silence, through results, through distance. And that distance, that is what people fear most. They'll try to guilt you. They'll say you've changed, that you're disconnected, too serious, too cold, good. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand. Because they don't realize you've stopped playing by their rules. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be remembered. And those who are remembered are rarely surrounded by applause while they rise. You rise in silence. You conquer alone. Think of every historical titan. Napoleon, feared and alone. Julius Caesar, betrayed by his own friends. Machiavelli himself, exiled, isolated, writing in the shadows while the world mocked him. That solitude, that exile, it forged clarity, ruthlessness, Mastery. If you want real power, this is the path you must choose. Not once, but every single day. You will eat alone. You will make decisions that isolate you. You will break alliances when they no longer serve your purpose. You will walk out of rooms filled with cowards. You will cut ties without apology. Because fearlessness demands focus, and focus demands distance. Only then will you see clearly. Only then will you act without delay. Only then will you do what the fearful can't, lead without needing anyone. And when the loneliness comes, when the silence grows heavy, don't retreat. Don't run back to comfort. Welcome it. That silence is the echo of your evolution. It means fear is gone, and power is taking its place. The price of fearlessness is solitude, but the reward is absolute freedom. You've killed your fear. You've accepted isolation. You no longer flinch, apologize, or hesitate. Now, you enter the final phase. You become the fear. Because the moment you feel nothing, you begin to sense what others still feel, and you learn to use it against them. This is where power multiplies. This is where Machiavelli smiles from the shadows. Understand this. Fear is the most effective weapon ever invented. You don't need swords when you have silence. You don't need to attack when others paralyze themselves in your presence. Fear does your work for you if you know how to craft it. Machiavelli didn't just study fear, he engineered it. He taught rulers how to build it, how to wield it. He knew people respond more to the threat of pain than to pain itself. They fear unpredictability. They fear mystery. They fear what they cannot calculate. And that is your new role. You are no longer just a man. You are a mirror in which others see their own. Weakness. So how do you wield fear as a weapon? Step 1. Become unreadable. Predictable men are manageable. You must be silent, calculating, unreadable. Smile less, speak less. Reveal nothing. Let them wonder what you're thinking. Let them fill the blanks with their own paranoia. And whatever little you do reveal, make it deliberate. Make it heavy. The moment they can't predict your next move, they stop feeling safe around you. And when they don't feel safe, they obey. Step 2. Broadcast power. Never emotion. Weak men display emotion first. Strong men project consequence. When you enter a room, people should feel tension, not comfort. Not because you're loud, but because you radiate control. Every movement, how you walk, how you sit, how you look, should say, I see everything. I miss nothing. I feel nothing. That's how tyrants rule without speaking. That's how kings win battles before they even begin. Step 3. Use fear to control outcomes. Once you understand what others fear, use it. The fear of exclusion. The fear of embarrassment. The fear of being replaced, exposed, demoted. You don't threaten directly. You imply, mention things indirectly. Let them feel the heat without seeing the fire. Let them fear what might happen if they cross you in that uncertainty. You gain control because people don't follow strength. They follow what they fear losing. Your silence becomes the question they can't answer. What happens if I decide you're a problem? They'll answer it themselves. through obedience. Step 4. Make an example. Eventually, someone will test you. Someone always does. When that moment comes, don't warn. Don't explain, destroy, publicly, fast. Finally, let the others watch, let them feel their pulse quicken. Let them realize he doesn't bluff. That's how fear becomes a system. That's how you build hierarchy. People fall in line, not because you asked, but because they know what happens if they don't. This isn't cruelty, it's control. Machiavelli warned, a prince who is not feared will, sooner or later, be overthrown. Fear is the shield behind the throne. It's the silence that guards the powerful. It's the pressure that keeps the blades sheathed. Here's your new reality. You have no fear, but they do. And that fear, that's your currency. Your weapon. Your armor. The truly powerful don't fear pain. They manufacture it. They don't flinch. They make others flinch. First, that's the final evolution. Not just to fear nothing, but to become the thing they all fear. Fear is the foundation of every weak life, every silent failure, every missed opportunity. It rules men more than laws, more than kings, more than gods. But when you destroy it, you don't just grow stronger. You become unrecognizably. You stop reacting like prey. You stop asking for permission. You stop chasing safety or validation. You move with precision, quiet, calculated, relentless. You don't announce power. You let the silence speak for you. You cut hesitation. You stop negotiating with your conscience. You stop explaining yourself to people already beneath. You look the world in the eye and say, I don't fear you, I don't need you, and I'm not waiting. When fear dies, ruthlessness is born. Not chaos, not rage, but calm, surgical power. You don't give mercy when it's undeserved. You remove threats before they take root. You don't flinch at betrayal. You expect it. You don't fear isolation. You require it. While others chase applause, you build in silence. While they seek allies, you become a one-man system. You act while they hesitate. You sit alone while they panic in crowds. You detach from comfort, from outcomes, from being seen, and in that silence, your power multiplies. You begin to see how fear governs everyone else, how it makes them predictable, emotional, weak. And then comes your final transformation. You use their fear against them. You become unreadable, unpredictable, untouchable. You never explain. You never overplay your hand. Your stillness becomes the question they can't answer. Your presence becomes the pressure they can't escape. You don't threaten. You imply. You don't fight often. But when you do, you finish it. You make examples. You speak through action. You dominate through silence. You become the man they whisper about. The one who doesn't blink, doesn't stall, doesn't crack. They obey not because they like you, but because they don't know what happens if they cross you. You don't fear consequences. You are the consequence. That's what Machiavelli understood. That fear, when mastered, becomes the deadliest weapon of all. Not because you use it on yourself, but because you inject it into others. With precision, that is the path, and that is your choice. You can remain average, ruled by emotion, seeking safety, addicted to approval, or you can burn it all. Kill your fear and build something terrifying in its place. Something powerful. Something permanent. If this message struck a nerve, if it stirred something cold and ruthless inside you, don't scroll away. Subscribe. This isn't motivation. This isn't therapy. This is the blueprint for total control. For those who refuse to live as pawns, welcome to the darker side of strength. Welcome to the silence behind true dominance. Welcome, to Machiavelli.